Hello and welcome back to the Kerbal Space Program. My name is WWEdeadman, but you already know that. We're gonna, as always, load up my career mode. And as I told you as you saw last time, we have a rescue mission to do. And I'm actually just gonna show you the rescue ships, pretty much, for that. Yeah, what I built is pretty much a one-man lander with a remote control unit, and just saved that on three different things. That's, by the way, the MRL, the Mun-rescue lander. That whole thing stands on a modified version of a Deadweight 1, I think. Yeah, Deadweight Mark 1. Why do I have all the stuff with me like that would be a normal moon mission? I want all the science that I can get, and if I'm gonna land this lander, or these landers on the moon, where we obviously can't have crew in there. If I'm going to land these landers on the moon, then we're gonna get all the science from all those biomes that the three Kerbals are in, and I sent them to two different ones because I couldn't get one to leave further. So there are two on the Highlands and one in the Farside crater. And I've already flown up two of the three landers there and have landed them. The first one is a little bit of a concern because I can't really tell if that has enough fuel left. Anyway, we're gonna launch this one. This is pretty much going to be all the same because it's the same rocket, it's the same model. There's not gonna be any complications, I hope. We're gonna get up all our instruments so we can see what we're doing, and then we'll say 3, 2, 1. Would you? Oh, of course, yeah. I need to be on that side. 10, 9, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that was a little bit of a fast countdown. Go! As you see, those boosters don't really do a great job lifting that rocket. And with all that smoke, that is pretty much a very realistic start. Because if you've seen a real rocket launched, that produces so much dust and smoke. Anyway, yeah, we're straying a little bit to the to the east, I say. That's not bad though. We're fine. Just trust me on that. So those are gonna burn out, the boosters, and we're gonna go with the liquid boosters in 3, 2, 1. Decouple. And there you see, we don't even need that much thrust to get this up. I'm time accelerating this for you because this took a while to get out of the atmosphere and do the whole gravity turn in a second here. Yeah, here. That works perfectly well. Now we can throttle up to get a lot of boost there and decouple that. Get the next stage going. That's now pretty much standard. Stop fucking... I hate it when that sometimes has these explosion sounds in there. You heard that in a very high-pitched version of those, but you know what I mean if you played the game or saw one of the launches that were not time accelerated. The additional engines burn out, we're gonna get rid of these, and then we're gonna circularize our orbit around Kerbin. That's pretty much standard procedure here. No problem, really. And there we go, periapsis up. And we're gonna get our solar panels out so we don't lose energy, and then we're gonna go and get ourselves an encounter with the moon. There we have our moon encounter, and then we're running out of the Kerbal system here. Of the orbit around Kerbal. Thrall up. And yeah, I'm just sitting there watching the fuel decay, because I know that we're not gonna get there with the first stage. So, last stage, before the actual lander stage, we're getting out to the moon, and yeah, there we are. Into time acceleration we go to get there as fast as possible. Come on. On the way to the moon. There we're gonna get the encounter. And boom, there we are. So that's pretty much standard, getting our periaps down a little bit and then burning a circular orbit from there. So that we can pretty much stop above where we want to land and then go down and do a suicide burn in the last second, which is the most efficient way. I mean, we can reload if we fail, so hey. By the way, from the next episode on, this is going to be live commentary again. Like in the pilot episode. I'm just gonna cut out anything that is long and not important, like those burning maneuvers. At least if I don't have anything interesting to talk about, I'll do that. Yeah, add a maneuver here to get ourselves above our Kerbal. To fly right above him. And then we're gonna go around here. By the way, you're getting the footage 5 times accelerated here. So you know how long it took me to actually do this. So we're going over here. Yeah, a little bit more adjusting, and now we're back to normal speed for you too. So that's over there, the green marker is our Kerbal. That's where we want to go. That's exactly where we're headed. And essentially, it would be totally possible to just fly over him, stop in mid-air, not really air, but stop in pretty much in a hovering position. And just go down and burn as we go down to not get too fast. And land right beside him. But I kind of... I don't always have the patience to wait until we're there. And all of that. By the way, the turquoise marker or blue greenish marker in front of there, right where the solar panel has pointed there. That's an old moon landing. That was the first one, I guess, or the second one. I don't remember. Nah, it was the second one. I think. I really don't know anymore. Anyway, so you see, all my landings have pretty much been in the same in the same area of the moon. I mean, once in the far side crater over there, you kind of see that in the distance. Once right below us now, and the other one was the one that we're just rescuing, which was also here. Right where that Kerbal is standing, by the way. You see, by the way, both of the other rescue landers are the red markers. One over there in the crater, and one over the other side in the crater of the highlands. So I pretty much get us down to pretty much no velocity, turn us over there and get a little bit of thrust going in that direction, because we're not really heading right over the head of our Kerbal. In the end, I end up fucking that up pretty much anyway, because I'm just not patient enough, and I don't trust the instruments of that game too much, and I end up landing a little bit far away from our Kerbal. But that's not a problem on the moon, since all our Kerbals have their jetpacks, and on the moon they can totally fly with that thing. So it's not like I have to walk over to the lander on foot. Yeah. In retrospective, I kind of probably should have time accelerated this part, because this takes a whole lot of time. But hey, now we're here, I'm already recording, I don't wanna start over or try to fit that in. That's mostly why I wanna start doing live commentary again, because I can't just cut out anything that's not important and not in any way needed in my video, and I can and I don't have to talk over it all the time until finally something happens. As you see, I'm landing pretty far away from our Kerbal, because we're now going straight down. Also, I've pretty much burned up my fuel in the last stage, which is okay, because I don't want to land on that last stage. I want to ditch that pretty much high above the moon, so or pretty high above the moon, so I can get that to hit the moon's surface and disintegrate or something. It's actually gonna be that we're closer to our last landing site than we are to where we actually wanted to land. See, down there? I think that's the Man on the Mun landing site, which would be the first one. I can't really read it while watching the cut video and not yet processed video on my cutting program. Another reason why I wanna do the live commentary. As I said, I'm just doing. I just did these in post commentary, because I recorded those when I still had my replacement for my mixing console, and that whole thing didn't really have the best audio quality. As you see, now that is burned out, and we are now on the lander's fuel. Just brake a little bit so that that thing can disintegrate down there on the surface of the moon. And we're gonna pretty much try not to get too fast, but also try to suicide burn as much as possible, because it's really the most efficient way to do this in this game. I just didn't want to overshoot and probably crash into some kind of surface there. That's, by the way, debris flying around down there. That's probably the engine that skipped back up. And there I burned so much that we're actually going back up. I never like when that happens. And I especially don't like any vertical velocity. Horizontal velocity when landing. You know, any non-vertical one in that case. Because if you're moving sideways, it's not really that easy to land, as you're gonna see right now. There it stands up, and I have to push it down with the SAS. And that's not really what I want to do. Anyway, we landed the last lander. This one has an immense amount of fuel left. And yeah, extend the ladders. That's on an action group, of course, because why not? And then we're gonna, yeah, that Kerbal is obviously not near enough for us to change via the change keys. Anyway, we have a full jetpack, so hey, let's fly over to our lander. As you see, that is not a problem. We have enough fuel and everything. We could pretty much even slow ourselves down enough to land properly, but on the moon, Kerbals are pretty much very ballistic beings, and therefore I end up crashing us down here and breaking by friction. Hey, done that. As you see, I can totally land normally too. And here we are, right at our lander. So we can now crawl up there and get into our capsule. And board that thing. Yes. Also, we're gonna get all sorts of reports. The crew report here, of course, the EVA and surface samples are still intact, so that's a thing. We're gonna get the science of all the instruments that we brought, which is everything that doesn't have to do anything with atmosphere. Because as soon as you get any atmosphere going, you're not on the moon anymore, unless you're on Lathe. You're on the moon with an atmosphere in this system. We're probably even going to go there too. Yeah, as you see, accelerometer and all the thermometer and the ravioli detector and our materials bay and the goo and everything. We have all of that here, and we're gonna just get science from all of that. It's not like we maxed out the tech tree yet, so we still need the science. That's the whole reason why I want to collect the science. I mean, I could have totally just put a lander up there that's just a capsule and just collected our Kerbals and got back. Would have been a lot less weight to get back. But hey, we now only have to quick save first and then get our Kerbal back from the moon. In which direction do we need to start? That's probably the best one to just start in that direction over there, yeah. So in the direction of that crater, of the big one. Let's zoom out a bit to see where that is. So up here, and there's Kerbal. Kerbal is actually the sun, by the way. Yeah, I don't know who named the sun in this system Kerbal, but hey. Yeah, all we have to do is set up the thrust and go into a vertical flight and just escape the moon. Which is pretty easy. We're not gonna use up too much fuel for that. As you see, our apoapse is rising. And more. And there we are already on almost an orbit around the moon. And escape. Here. Could have stopped burning a little bit earlier and got a little bit of a tighter orbit around Kerbin, but we're just gonna time accelerate to the point where we escape the moon. We're gonna look at this for a second. Looks good. And time accelerate out of the moon's system, more or less, or out of the moon's gravity field. You know, I know that there are a lot of mods for this game, some of which are adding new, let's call it celestial objects, so moons and planets. But I don't really want to mod the game as much as I want the actual developers to include more stuff, like maybe another solar system, if that's not too much to ask for. Or maybe another planet that has a moon, which also has a moon. I know that that thing is pretty much in a mod, but as you see, as I just said, I don't wanna really mod the game that much. Yeah, probably should have time accelerated this a little bit too, because even in time acceleration mode in game, this is pretty slow. If you don't actually have to look at the instruments and hope that it doesn't overshoot. There we go. And there was almost an orbit back around the moon. However, that was possible. Anyway, we're just gonna burn retrograde so that our orbit goes down into Kerbin's atmosphere. And burn up. And as you see, we have just enough to get our periapse into the atmosphere and to hit Kerbin. Now we're just so slow that I need to time accelerate this. So I get the landing legs back in because I don't need those for re-entry. Just going over the desert of Kerbin here, getting our velocity down a bit with the last fuel we had. And this is probably going to be a water landing. Yep, it's gonna be a water landing. But that's okay, we're going to go into re-entry. There we go. Hitting the atmosphere, and there we have the re-entry effects. This has to get so fucking hot. Probably some stuff would totally burn up, and those parachutes would totally burn up if that was realistic. We're still above Mach 1, as you see, because that was the cloud effects that flight that goes above the speed of sound. Those effects appear there, but I'm pretty sure you know that already. So at 500 meters, our parachutes are gonna open. I don't know why I didn't just time accelerate there. In-game, I mean. Because, hey, we've got like 2,000 meters to go. I'm estimating that from what it looks like on screen, by the way. I can't really read the numbers. And there we go, 500 meters, and then we time accelerate until we are about to hit the surface of the sea. And then we're gonna see if this lander can land on water, or if it's as bad at landing on water as the Evian lander is. Here we go. Critical moment in 10 meters. There we go. And it floats. So before anything happens, we're gonna recover that vessel. As you see, we got enough science now to actually research the parts that we need for the Evian lander. So we're gonna research this for this, and we have the docking module that we wanted. But we of course still have 2 Kerbals on the moon, and we're gonna get those back too, hopefully. So of course the 1.2 lander is pretty much the same to fly back, because, you know, enough fuel and everything. I'm gonna time accelerate that like 10 times for you. So we are going in the other direction this time for a little bit, because I thought then that the escape orbit might make us go back to Kerbin more steeply, and we wouldn't have to actually burn that much to get the periaps down. What I end up doing though, because I'm not in any way at a point where I could burn for the periaps to go down, I burn to shift our orbit completely out of any centricity, I guess, and make this go directly back to Kerbin with a very high velocity. Get down. This is still time accelerated, by the way. And it looks like this is going to be a night landing. I'm sorry for you, because you're not gonna see much. Because this is pretty not very light. And we're gonna go into re-entry. Yes. Beautiful re-entry effects going on. The whole thing burns up really more than the last one did, because it's faster. If I had the deadly re-entry mod, this Kerbal would be so dead. By the way, look at the G-forces. Just because I pointed at it with the mouse there, the G-forces on the other one were pretty much the same height. They were in the red area of the G-force meter on the end. Not something you want to see on an actual mission, I guess. But hey. Kerbals are more ballistic than humans. And there we go, out of the upper atmosphere into the lower atmosphere, stopping to burn and going into a supersonic speed, more or less. This time we're gonna land over land, so we should probably have our legs out. And yeah. That's all good. The lander should not have any problems landing over land. Anything that can land on water can land on land. Especially if it has legs. And those are the big legs on top of that, so I don't think we have any problems with that. I didn't know how high the ground was here, so I didn't dare time accelerate until the parachutes opened. Because those can fuck up if you time accelerate and just rip off for some strange reason. Yeah, but now we're here on a... I wanted to kind of see where the space center was, and that's probably, yeah, that's here. So we're not even that far away from that. Time accelerate that a little bit so we can go down. Hope that we don't land on a tree, which we, by the way, would just clip through. Because the ground rubble is not yet a physical object. And there we go, landing us. Yeah. Recover that vessel. We have a lot more science to do. But not before we try to get back our last lander up there. And also look at the revenue of that science mission. Yeah. Which pretty much means that the other mission wouldn't have given us that much of a science bonus anyway. Because those were both from the same kind of environment. Yeah. Bad thing is, as you saw, that thing doesn't have that much fuel anymore. And I totally forgot to save, so I could at least get another lander up there and get that to launch and leave the other one up there forever or something. I totally forgot to save. I totally think that we could get off this, and we totally can't. Because, as you'll see shortly, we're going to go out of fuel. We're running out of fuel right here. No, but right now. There you go. That is not an escape orbit. And therefore I realized that I kind of have to do something about this, and I decided to go on EVA and try to get him back to the moon's surface. That way I just... yeah... if you look at it, it doesn't really work. I try slowing him down and everything, and yeah, the whole jetpack is not enough for that to do anything specifically. So I end up going over here. And I end up crashing that poor little Kerbal. Whatever. Kerbinaut. That's what I want to call him. That poor little Kerbinaut right into the surface of the moon. Poof. I like that they don't leave corpses. Anyway, as sad as this is, I realized that I didn't save, and I realized that I have no other choice than to go back and not think about this anymore. Anyway, his death was not in vain, because we now can at least get our Evian rescue lander going again. And at the part that we needed, the docking port. Where is it? Utility, hello? Docking port, here. Get that on there. Is that the right way around? How does that look if I turn it around? Wait, yeah, no, that looks wrong. Turn that back. Yeah. That's the docking port, and now we're gonna go build the rest. Yeah, and there we go. That is the new design of our Evian rescue lander to go into orbit around Kerbin. We're gonna see if that works in the next episode. Winch is still going to be post-commentary, by the way. Yeah, I lied. I totally forgot that I have another file that I have to show you. Yeah. We're gonna try to launch this thing next time. Till then, like and favorite if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more, and until next time, I'm WWEdeadman. Bye.